So let's create two variables. They're both integers. And we'll create two if statements. If x is greater than or equal to y, then we'll do one statement. And we have a separate one if x is less than y. And now if we run this, we'll see which command prints. If we change the value, we can alter the output. But if you look at these two separate if statements, they pretty much do similar things. So what we could do is, because we're comparing two different Boolean expressions, we can simply combine them into one. And one way to do this is to simply rewrite our two separate if statements as an if-else if statement. And now you can see it runs exactly the same. But because we have two separate if statements combined into one single statement, it's a little bit easier to see and understand what's going on rather than have two separate if statements. Because one problem with two separate if statements, if we did this, there could be a million lines of code in between these two separate if statements, and we wouldn't know the relationship between this one and this one. So by combining them like this, it just makes it clearer that these two are checking similar Boolean expressions, in this case x and y. And you can create as many else if statements if you want. And you have to watch out. The order that you check these Boolean expressions will determine when they actually run. So for example, let's make x and y exactly equal. And you may think this should run, but because we have our greater than or equal up here, this portion will run first. So if we change this to greater than and run it again, then we finally get down here. So the point is, when you have multiple Boolean expressions that you're checking in an if-else if statement, the order of these Boolean expressions can affect which code runs.